I wasn't packaged properly earlier to make the money. Once I package myself like that, 5,000, 7,500, 10,000, I'll pay whatever I want that.
What's going on, family? Welcome to another episode of Dominate the Decade podcast, Domination Conversations, where listen, I bring you real life entrepreneurs who are absolutely crushing it and dominating in their particular industry and their niche. And listen, I got one of my guys. I got a very, very, very special guest, man. I got tuned in. Tony came in today to talk to y'all about automations, AI, funnels, taking your business to the next level. Because you know what? Y'all know you're struggling. I know it. And you doing everything you want, every single hat in your business. But guess what? He gonna talk to you today about automating your business and putting funnels in place to give you high converting sales tools. Tony, talk to us, man. Like, introduce yourself. Let the people know who you are, what you do, how you help entrepreneurs. What's up?
Yeah, man. Thanks for inviting me to your show for the first part. But basically, what most people know me as is building funnels for a lot of online coaches, and they see me as like the funnel guy. But it's a lot more to it. And what that really is there's a lot of business owners doing a lot of MWAs, which stands for minimum wage activities. And we can change those with systems and automations. And my goal is to help businesses grow more and stress less by putting these automations in there. So a lot of those small tasks can just be automated.
Hey, so essentially, if there's a business owner watching this pod right now and they're trying to figure out how can they get out of minimum wage activities, which is obviously is probably not helping them make any money, what is the first step to them taking that leap towards becoming a real true biz owner and kind of automating that process? What does that first step look like?
Yeah, so the first step, I believe, is really understanding what you sell. Because most people are so focused on the money, right? The money's always going to come once you have a great offer, but most people don't have the offer, right? So they see coaches online like yourself and the other ones that you have on this show, and they're just solely thinking about the money. But what they have to first think about is the pain point that they can solve for somebody. If you can solve a pain point, people easily exchange that money. Somebody sent me today $500 just to rush their project because that pain point is they want their project. Right? So when you look at it, you have to first think about what do you sell that people want, and then you start thinking about what are the small tasks in there. Because let's just say in your business, right, you have so many leads come through. Imagine if you had to send all those people a confirmation, or you had to send all those people course access.
That ain't gonna work.
Those are minimum wage activities right there. But then another thing about it as well is you don't even have to pay a VA for it. So you actually save money in your business by creating these systems that work for you. Got you.
So what you're saying is that most business owners, when they start, they just trying to just make money, but they don't even know the problems that they solving.
Correct.
I believe that, and I understand it because I feel like price is only an issue in the absence of value. If you don't know the value that you bring to the marketplace, people are going to have a problem with your price. Right. And so no matter what the price is, I think that a lot of business owners think that they're not successful simply because they say, well, maybe I need to bring my price down a little bit. Instead of $1,000, maybe it need to be $100. But what you're saying is it's not the price of the actual offer. It's more so what problem are you solving? Because again, if you're going to solve a problem and you're going to provide the resolution to my pain point, then I'm willing to pay whatever price, right? And so if a person knows, let's just say, I know what I'm offering, I know what I'm selling, I know the value that I bring to the marketplace, and I'm willing to spend money on ads, and I'm willing to get on podcasts and get in front of a lot of people, how can I make sure that I really, truly like eliminate me doing these minimum wage activities? What does that second step look like?
Yeah, so let's talk about packaging, right? So a lot of times you have to be packaged right to solve that demand. So you can look at a water bottle. If I'm at the dollar store, I'm going to pay $1 for a water bottle. But if I'm at the arena and I'm thirsty and the water bottle's $7, that same water bottle costs $7, but it's solving the problem that I can't go get water anywhere else. So most of us have a packaging problem. We think we know what we think we know and sell, but we really are like, okay, how do I package this up so that it's in demand to solve that problem the fastest? And that's what makes the money come the fastest. You see what I'm saying? So the first thing that you have to do is figure out what that problem is going to solve, which is going to be the offer. Second, you got to figure out how to package it correctly so you can get the price that you want. And then that's when all the small automations, you're going to find those by finding what breaks in your own system. And then you're like, okay, I don't want to do that no more. I want to create a system for that.
And it's kind of like what you're saying is there are people that are trying to make offers to people that don't want the offer, don't want their service because they simply maybe in the wrong environment maybe. Or you don't understand maybe your client avatar. So you like, well, I just started my business. Tony, you should buy something from me. Auntie, you should buy something from me. Nephew, you should buy, like you're expecting all of these people to buy, then you get mad at your family and friends because they're not supporting your small business. But it's like, if my credit is good, and you do credit repair, why do you want me to pay you for credit repair? I don't need that.
So let's talk about this. So you said credit repair. That's an excellent one. A lot of people have that problem.
Yeah.
But a lot of people come to the credit repair industry because they see all the online entrepreneurs and they're like, I want to do that.
Yep.
And then they'll come to me and say, I just want to make $1 million selling credit. Well,
Right.
let's look at it this way. Instead of just saying, hey, I increase credit scores, that doesn't hit a pain point hard enough.
Yeah.
But what if you said, hey, I help you get approved for your home faster so that you can close faster? Mm-hmm. So now what's happening is you're finding people where credit's not the real issue. They really want to get that home for their family. Mm-hmm. Credit's just in the way.
Yeah.
So now that price point, because now they're packaged correctly, you can charge way more, because let's just say if they say, hey, you close on your house in 60 days, and you don't got that stuff together, that's an incredible pain point to solve. Yep,
I agree. I think that what to your point, most people don't realize that, again, that goes back to what you said at the beginning, you solving a problem. Because my score, either my credit being bad or my score being low, that's not really my biggest problem. Because if I could actually buy a house with my credit, let's just say 580 or 600, I don't give a damn about the score.
Yeah, you don't.
I'm mad that I keep paying rent and I want to become a homeowner, and I can't buy a house because maybe there's something that's not allowing me to move forward. So again, that goes back to problem solving. And I think that most entrepreneurs, when they having, let's just say, these discovery calls with themselves as business owners, they have to say, well, what is it that I really do and what problem do I solve and what are the pain points associated with that, right? And it's kind of like, I remember there's a website where people, we talk about, like, I think it's like askthepeople.com or something like that, where you can go and ask people like, well, what are you looking for, or what issues are you having with credit? And if you can look at those pain points, and if you can start off your conversations with, hey, well, why do you want to improve your credit, right? And they say, well, I want to buy a house, I want to get a car, right? And so essentially what you're saying, it all makes sense. But here's what I want to know. I want to kind of take it back a little bit. How did Tony get to the point to where Tony is everybody's funnel creator? Like ain't no entrepreneur that if they got a funnel, you created it. Like, how do we get to that point?
No, that's a really good question, because when I first started building funnels, people had just think it just came out of nowhere. But it really came from,
like, are you certified or something? Like,
hey,
do you got like a funnel degree or something?
That's what people say.
You know what I'm saying?
But it really came from what we all go through in business. It came from compounded skills. So when I was 18 years old, I didn't have any coach or mentor. I wanted to learn how to do graphic design. I asked somebody to teach me, and they were just like, I don't do that. So I went to YouTube University, and I literally started opening up Photoshop, figuring out how to do graphic design. What a lot of people don't know is when I was younger, I used to be a DJ, and I used to make party flyers for nightclubs.
Wow.
That same skill that I didn't know would transcend to be the skill that made everybody say, wow, his funnels look great. Because let's think about a party flyer. It's straight up and down. It's got the people on it popping out. That's what transcended to my funnel. So you could be learning a skill right now that you don't even know is the skill that's going to set you up for your future. I didn't know me being a party flyer designer was going to transcend and make me make the best funnels. So then as I went through the other things I did in life, once I finally landed into doing funnels because I didn't want to screen print and do t-shirts anymore, I took that same skill set, and then I got the opportunity from one person to make their funnel. It was my boy JP, and it was called Mission Black Friday. So
that was your first funnel?
That was my first big funnel. Like, I was making my own little stuff. So I made Mission Black Friday, and it just killed the whole game. Everybody was like, the cinematic. They saw the glass pop, and it looked like Mission Impossible. But like taking that skill set that I had learned at 18, diverting it over here, I wasn't packaged properly earlier to make the money. Once I packaged myself like that, 5,000, 7,500, 10,000, I'll pay whatever I want that. You see what I'm saying? So that's why I said it's all about having the offer and having the correct packaging.
Yeah, and I remember we was at a mutual friend's party a few years ago, and you walked up to me like, hey, what's going on, bro? My name's Tony. I'm a funnel designer. I was like, I don't need your funnels, bro. And here we are years later. You've created some amazing funnels for me. And I mean, I could tell the world that just off the funnels that you have created, and not just the design aspect, but even like the back end of the funnel, right, has made me millions of dollars in a year, $1 million in a month, in a week, and in a day. I want you to talk to the people about that, because again, you are the coach's funnel creator. Like, that's who you are. Like, everybody know you as that, but I think that there's more to Tony. And so I want you to be able to talk about what does that back end of a funnel look like, because that's the part that makes everything work. But then also too, like, what is it that Tony offers, and what is it that he really does for the people when he creates funnel? Because me and you were talking about it a little bit last night. You were saying people don't realize that when they get a funnel from you, it's just not just a funnel, but there's more that goes into it. I want you to talk about that.
Yeah, so like a lot of people come to me to get a funnel, but they're using the word funnel. It's almost like when you say I need a ride, you say I need to catch an Uber, right?
Yeah. But
it's like, or they say want to search when they say Google, it becomes that brand name. Well, now when people come to me, they say they want a funnel, but really being a growth operator for their business, running the ads for their business, I'm consulting them, I'm being their therapist when, they're trying to figure out why it's not working. So to kind of switch it a little bit to say why it's not working, I think that a lot of people's problem as well is people are scared to fail fast. And failing fast is very important, because the reason why we're able to create systems is because I'm at a point now where I don't get stressed out when the customer tells me something doesn't work, because that's part of the game. So what happens is it's like, oh my gosh, my X, Y, and D didn't send out. Okay, we need to create a system for that so that never happens again. You know what I mean? Or it's like, I'm doing all this manual work by putting these tags on this so I can know where, which client bought a general admission ticket, a VIP ticket, or which person just bought this. We need to create a system for that. So every time you fail, someone could be looking at that as an error, but really what it is showing us the opportunity to save you more time. You know what I mean?
And I'll tell y'all how crazy I am. I remember when I first got with Tony, I was like, man, I'm about to do this call, and I need this funnel ready. He was like, by the time you get ready to make an offer, it'll be done.
It'll be done,
And I was like, what the hell? But I'm like, I'm gonna go with it. I'm gonna trust it.
It was probably about like 5 o'clock, and you started at like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, like it was like, I think I started at 5. I was gonna make the offer maybe around about 7, so I had a couple hours.
Yeah.
And he was like, yeah, I'll be done.
You stressing out?
Not really.
Yeah.
A little bit. I'm like, I want to make sure this thing is in place. I want to make sure it works. But I trusted you. And by the time I got ready to make the offer, you had already sent me the link, and everything worked. And I think that to your point, not only do most entrepreneurs not know what they offer, like they don't know the problem that they solve, but the reality is that they're not even really ready to go either. Because I know, like, a lot of people will be like, hey, Tony, I need this funnel, and I need it like how long is it gonna take? I need it yesterday. But you're not even really ready to move. Like, I'm the kind of person where I'm gonna commit first. I'm figuring the rest of that stuff out like later along the lines. But then there are people that won't even move, so they'll come in there, hire you for a funnel, and then they like, I want it done now. Like, what does that look like for you as the biz owner and a funnel creator, for people who they may feel like they're ready to go, but they don't have the patience and the wherewithal to really like understand that process?
Yeah, so it's like the patience comes from them not having the true understanding and then being correctly coached in it. And the reason why I say that is because they believe that the funnel does all the work. The funnel is a tool that makes your job easier and better, right?
Yeah.
So if they had the proper coaching, right, because they're just looking at it from a fishbowl from the outside, saying like, look at Dion, look at this person, look at this person. And then they put the connection of the dots, and they said, oh, Tony's the common denominator behind all these coaches. So then they come to me, which is a good thing, right? But they come to me not truly prepared. So that's why we teach them and bring them to do that. But the thing about it is, at least they did make the right step towards making that step to move forward. But the expectation that they have to have is going back to the first thing we said. It's not just the problem. It's not just the funnel. The funnel is going to amplify good or bad. So you still got to be able to solve that problem in whatever it is.
I want you to, I want to switch gears a little bit, because I know that me and you are working on something. We're working on something very big, and I want you to just kind of segue into talking to people about what we're working on, and what does that look like for the people, and how we're going to be able to help people, again, solve their problems in their business.
So what we're working on is called Automate Your Business Live. And what it came from was looking at all of our clients' gripes, right? So they invest into themselves, and we want them to be successful. And what I started seeing was there's so much time spent on things that we don't have to spend time on. And this was a situation myself, right? I was so stuck in working in the business, I'm missing out on the money that I should be making because I'm not on the forefront of my business. You didn't start the business to have a job. You started it to own it. But really what we do is we start this business to have a glorified job for our own selves. But instead, let's say no matter how much we love working our business, we would rather be out doing what we're doing, spending more time with our family and having the business operating. But what keeps us in the business is we don't trust the business that we created, right? But the solve for that is actually a lot simpler than we think it is, right? It's called systemizing and automating it. So you take an inventory of every problem you have in your business. I guarantee you can create a system for that. You can put somebody in place for it. But the thing is, most people don't know how. So what happens is they go months and years of being stuck in that situation. But then they look over here and they say, how does this guy that doesn't know as much as me have so much freedom in his life, right? Because the one thing he understood was how to put a system behind it. Because he said, I'm not showing up to the office every day. I'm out of town with my wife. You see what I'm saying? But it's the person who doesn't understand that's stuck. And the only thing that separates the next person from you is the knowledge.
And I want to help everybody kind of understand what Tony is saying. And essentially what he is saying is that we came together and we was like, okay, well, I'm coaching all of these high-performing entrepreneurs who are absolutely killing it and crushing it. And my job is to make sure that I help make their lives easier as coaches. And so I essentially would say, hey, listen, I need you to get with Tony, let him, pay him to create your funnels and stuff like that. And he would do that. But then obviously there is still some additional coaching. There's some additional conversations. And we were like, we need to do something that will give people the ability to not only understand where I'm coming from as a coach and allow them to get some high-level coaching and high-level information, but it will also allow them to see the front end and the back end of what it looks like to be in Tony's shoes and understand the process of how he makes business owners' life easier. And with us combining both powers together, we were like, let's get together. We're going to put together this class and we're going to teach people live for 5 days. And it really puts a person in that driver's seat as a business owner to say, I finally get it. I finally understand. Like, you start to fire on all cylinders because I know, me knowing what I know, like you said, the difference between being me and being the old version of myself is just information. And so when you can bridge the gap with information, what ends up happening is you bridge the gap to the money that you really want to have because you now have understanding. You know how to solve the problem. You know how to make the offer. I think a lot of entrepreneurs, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, I think a lot of entrepreneurs don't go full-fledged in their business because they're not comfortable because it's like, well, if I make an offer, well, how are they going to get the product?
That's good.
You see what I'm saying?
Because, like, just to jump in real quick, when you really think about that, most people don't grow because they don't have the confidence that their system will work for them. Because they're like, I don't want to jump out here and sell something and I can't fulfill. That's a system failure. You know what I mean? Or I don't want to do that because I feel like it's not going to send the automation or the text message to the person. You know what I mean? So us coming together to be able to provide that confidence so they can grow more and stress less, it's going to be phenomenal.
Because that's where, like, people are afraid to go all in and go all out because they're afraid to get that tag that says scam. Like, I bought something from you. Where's the thing at? Or I bought something from you, and when does this start? Like, I don't know anything. I'm lost. I'm confused. I don't know. And the problem is not only is the customer confused, but the business owner who made the actual offer is confused as well because they don't know what this process looks like. So they may have made an offer in front of 300-400 people. Let's just say 100 people bought, and now they're like, all right, I got to send all these emails, but where do I start?
When I did T-shirts, I had a clothing brand. I did clothes for 10 years, right? So when I pledged Alpha Phi Alpha, I hated the way Greek apparel looked, and I started my own clothing brand. And what was funny was, it wasn't funny, but it was funny. Now, I didn't have the right systems. I would work 14 hours a day and get called a scammer online because I wasn't shipping products fast enough. But then there was someone else who owned a T-shirt shop, and they had the knowledge I didn't have. So instead of me being in this big warehouse that I paid a lease for, hiring all this staff, screen printing all these shirts, there were certain people who would go overseas, buy the inventory, ship it to a 3PL, which is a third-party logistics company, that every time they get an order, it would ship out for them and it would arrive at the customer's thing. What was the difference? Product was already done. They had a fulfillment partner. Their stuff was getting delivered quickly, and they had way more freedom than I had. I'm in a warehouse at 8 a.m. to 9 p.m. printing and shipping shirts, not getting them out fast enough. I look at my Facebook ads, don't buy from here, scam, doesn't ship. And it's not that I was a scammer. I didn't have the right systems. I didn't have the right knowledge in order to move my business the right way. And that's what gives people not the confidence they need to grow. And when and speaking of like systems and automation and stuff like that, for like the entrepreneur that may be watching this right now, what is some like systems or some process that they can put in place in order to automate their business that you can give them like now? Yeah, definitely. So a lot of what we build on is Go High Level, which is a CRM that most people are familiar with. And I'm going to give you guys like the simplest setup system that you don't even have to pay for, right? So if you have a service, an offer, the first thing I think you should do is you have 2 links in your Instagram for your link in bio. you should set up a calendar that is a paid calendar for consultation. So then if somebody wants to meet with you to talk about event planning or how to be a better barber or how to be that, they could pay you $50 to get a block of your time to talk to you about that. That's free using a calendar. You can even use Calendly to do that. The next link that I would use is I would create another calendar that would be a group calendar, right? So now what you can do is you can sell one to many, right? So you can say, hey, on Thursday at 7:30, I'm gonna make content, drive people to that second link in my link in bio, let them sign up for a group call, and without even paying, this is just the most basic system. It will break at some point, but now you have a way to make money from consultations and a way to sell one to many with your offer. You just gotta put a little bit of content out to drive people to that link in bio so they click.
All right, so now that's good. So here's the question that follows it, because now the people watching, they intrigued. They're like, okay, hold on, wait a minute, how do I do this? How that second link for me to do these, let's just say the weekly calls or what have you, these group calls, selling one to many, what do you feel like is, for a good starter person, is a good platform to use to do those, let's just say, virtual calls where they get a lot of people on the group on that call to let's say, educate and then inform and then make an offer?
Yeah, I mean, it's actually simple. It's one that everyone probably has on their computer, not even thinking, the people watching here. You could just have like a Calendly and then just connect it into Zoom, right? So 2 fairly low price apps that you can have to really grow your business, sell one to many. But then, like I said, that system's gonna break, right? And the reason why that system's gonna break is because as you become successful with that, you're gonna wanna know information on the people registering. So now you need the CRM. So that's where then Go High Level comes in. So now once you start using the Go High Level system versus that, you now know their name, what day they signed up for. You're sending messages. And now here's the best part. You run that system for 30 to 45 days. Now inside of your CRM, you can send a text blast because the money is in the list and the fortune is in the follow-up. So that's why you need them.
Yeah, hey, do me a favor, say that one more time.
The money is in the list and the fortune is in the follow-up. So you need your CRM so you can have the list and you can follow up with them.
Because essentially the CRM is going to do the work that you don't want to do.
Correct.
It's going to continuously contact the clients, reach out to them, follow with them, make sales, make offers. And essentially if you have that CRM or that system on the back end, you can set it up where it can automate and it'll text or email clients every so often. That's what you're saying, right?
Yeah, like, I mean, I sell, one of the products that I sell is a low ticket product. And I sell a slide deck for $47 and I sell a 30-day content bootcamp for $37. That's another play to get high ticket clients because I'm selling them a low ticket product. But system wise, the best part about it is there's ads running to it, people buy it, it sends them the CRM, sends them a Google Doc with all the steps that they need to, and then it sends them a calendar, book a call. So I woke up this morning, I saw 2 slide decks and a 30-day content plan book, and I saw 2 phone calls booked. I ain't even really woke up and knocked the dust out my eyes yet. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But that system is working for me. So that's why it's so important when I say these MWAs, which stand for minimum wage activities. One, if I didn't have those systems, I could even risk a chargeback because I didn't send them their stuff fast enough. That system was working for me before I woke up. So it is important that any business, no matter if you're a local business, a coaching business, a service business, that you have systems that work for you because they're always going to outwork your human capacity.
Listen, y'all, you need systems. Like, can you imagine somebody buying something from you at 2, 3 o'clock in the morning, and they didn't get
they want it right now.
Yeah, they didn't
going
get it
through that pain point.
Because it's like here's what a small business owner thinks, because they don't think big, right? They're thinking like, well, at 3 o'clock in the morning, who woke? Everybody. Girl, boy, the time zones is people up at all hours of the day. That's why I don't be caring when I post content. They'd be like, I'll post it at midnight, I'll post it at 2, because somebody woke. Somebody up, somebody
Let's
ready to buy.
Let's talk about that too.
Yeah.
So there's so many people that are scared to post content, right? Because they're thinking about the likes, they're thinking about the views. You don't know those wee hours, especially for, I mean, really anybody, right? But think about a man. A man is a provider. He's up at midnight thinking about what's my next move to take care of my family.
Come on now.
You post that piece of content, he don't care about the views. That piece of content can literally say, the solve to your problem, click here. DM me this word, and then you DM that word. You don't want to sleep because you good. You going to sleep. You DM'd class or you DM content and it's sent to that dude and he bought it and he stayed up till 3 in the morning and digested all of that. But if you didn't have the system, you would have been like, well, bro, let me get up and let me get some time to give it to you. And he don't even want the system now. But at that time, now he done digested it till 3 in the morning with that system, and now he bought a higher ticket from you the next day.
See? This is why it's good to be around people that know what they're talking about, especially somebody who can put systems in your business and help you automate the process. That's why y'all got to come spend 5 days with us, man. We're going to show y'all how to make sure, like, create all your digital products. But I'm gonna teach you how to do a live class, and then Tony gonna teach you how to automate it. I got you. We're gonna create them digital products. It's gonna be a good one. So here's what I want to do, Tony. In closing, I want you to tell the people. Well, here's what I want to know. Is there anything today that I did not ask you that you want the people to know about you?
Yeah.
That's a good one, ain't it?
Yeah, that's a real good one, right? When it comes to me, I'm so interested in always is like helping the people, and it's like telling them like the technicalities of what they need to do. But what I would say is I'll throw it off of me, right, and put it back on them. You got an idea in your head that you've been thinking about for so long, right? Yep. And you've been trying to make everything perfect until you drop that idea. But you need to drop that idea raggedy and ugly, because there's somebody who's watching you and you're so focused on being perfection, they've been waiting on you to do that. You know what I mean? So go ahead and whatever that idea out is, step forward, because it only gets better. Because to be honest, we all weren't great at first. We all sucked at first. But as soon as we kept doing it, we got better and better. It's just like playing basketball. You can watch YouTube all day on learning how to play basketball, but until you go out there and get ripped, get blocked, miss a shot and get an air ball, you're not going to learn. So whatever you guys are going through right now, whether it's starting a cleaning company, starting your own coaching business, starting a lawn care company, go out there and mess up, fail fast, and figure out how to become the best, because the things that you think that people are looking at, they're not even looking at.
Yeah. And I was actually going to ask you to give us one word of encouragement, one piece of advice to allow people to dominate in whatever industry they in. But I think you kind of just said it a little bit, but maybe you can add a little bit more to it in closing.
Yeah. So we'll break it down a little bit.
So essentially, it's like if I'm a hairstylist right now, or if I'm a party planner, or if I'm in credit right now, what advice could you give me that would allow me to maybe take that piece of information or advice to go and execute and dominate in my industry, in my niche?
Yeah, so if you're already in the industry and you're trying to dominate it, the next product that you need to get you the more income that you're looking for is that pain point that your customer is telling you every day that you're not monetizing. You see what I'm saying? Your customer sitting in that hair salon talking about she can't figure out where to get the right gels from. She can't figure out where to get this from. We have one client right now who does hair, and she sells her own hair gels, her own hair brushes. So not only is she making money off the service, she's doubling down on that by selling products to the same customer that's sitting right there. So the increase that you're looking for is right in front of you. You just got to open your eyes.
And listen, here's what I'm gonna do in closing. I want you to let them know, talk heavy to them, because I'm somebody who you've been in my business and helping me as a growth operator, fractional CMO for the last few years. And, you know, you've literally watched me grow from like 7 figures. Like, you came in my business right when I was making 7 figures, and you helped me grow to 8 figures. I want you to, in closing, talk about some of the people that you help outside of me that are absolutely like crushing it. And where did they start and where are they at now? Just a few people just offhand.
Yeah, I mean, I first want to give it up to Will Rivera, right? So Will Rivera has a $40 million Amazon business. I remember when he was doing, $30,000 a week, and now he's doing, millions a month, right? And it was the same thing with him. Like, it wasn't always put together, but he never was scared to take the step forward and fail, to figure out exactly what he needed. He done ran into multiple issues with payment processors, all that, all the things that make people throw in a white towel, right? But because we were able to fail fast and build those systems out, we were able to make him better, right? I had the opportunity to work with him 500 from Recession Proof. He had a problem that he came to me, and I know I keep talking about problems, but that's real, the thing to solve. When him 500 came to me, he said, I'm having a tour, but the issue is Ticketmaster holds all the data. I don't know who's buying. So we were able to put a CRM to that, to where when they clicked on the ticket they want, we were able to get their first name, their last name, their email, then it redirected. You know what I mean? So by building those systems, he was able to sell out that tour right there. So like I said, the problem is there. You just got to find it and then optimize that. And that's exactly what we're going to be talking about in the 5-day challenge, Automate Your Business Live. What was the domain that we have for it?
I don't remember.
You don't remember? So automateyourbusiness.live. We're going to put everything down there in the chat. But you guys follow me.
Tony, you asking me stuff. You did it. I didn't do it. You the systems person. The systems guys asking me on here, what did we do? No, you put together the system. You tell them what it is.
So So if you feel like you're going through something with your business right now, what I want you to do is just find me on Instagram at TunedInTony. It ain't crazy in the DMs. Literally just shoot me your problem, and then we'll go over and figure out how to solve that. And then I'll give you an invite to the class right there so that you can learn exactly how to fix that, how to solve that, and then hopefully you join the 5-day challenge. We go from there.
Hey, listen, I'm going to put it in the description. They're going to be in the description notes. Listen, y'all, I need y'all to take this information that y'all heard today. I need you to apply it. Don't just take notes, but more importantly, I need you to go take action. So that way you can dominate in your particular industry. And listen, that was the episode my guy Tuned In Tony. Listen, go dominate your decade, love on the people, but more importantly, make sure you put God first. And we out.
Always.